Doug here. I wanted to put together this quick presentation on why researching solar right now for Californians is really imperative. The costs are going to be going up considerably due to a couple, three factors that we'll go over, but really there's some key deadlines you guys need to be aware of. So my name's Doug. I run a small digital marketing agency called SimpleTree. I also sell solar on the side for power. So I was constantly asked about solar from all my friends and family. So I thought it'd just be an important resource to kind of educate them about the solar investment and other key issues to be aware of when researching this type of investment. But right now, it's really now or never, guys. So there's some kind of key three deadlines that are really going to affect the cost of solar and really solar adoption across the whole state going forward. The primary one being net metering 2.0 ending around August, September. So we'll go over that. That's really a key economic driver that expedites the return on investment for solar. The second would be rising interest rates affecting solar loans and rising solar equipment costs due to just global supply chain issues. And the third is the dwindling tax credit by 2023 and being phased out entirely by 2024. So really to kind of touch on net metering. Net metering is a billing mechanism that credits solar energy system owners for sending excess electricity back to the grid. So we had two iterations of net metering policy. We're currently at NEM 2.0, and this is really the most critical component of solar economics. It allows California homeowners to pay back their solar panels in approximately 4 to 7, 10 years, depending on how much energy they use and how their system was sized. But really, in January 2022, the CPUC scheduled to decrease these net metering rates and a couple other really disadvantageous kind of policies. So really, the key elements are you're going to be credited less for how much excess electricity you generate back to the grid. And most of all, these credits will no longer roll over for up to a year. So the whole idea of solar is, the production's really seasonal, right? So you're going to produce more solar energy in the summer than you would in the winter. So having this rollover for the entire year really helps expedite that return on investment when you can, use credits that you may have used less energy but generated more in one month versus the other. So in NEM 3.0, they're proposing that these credits will expire at the end of the month. So that's a really key, really bad policy that's going to take effect that really expedite what they're predicting from 5 to 7 years to more around 15-20 years to see a return on investment for your solar panels with NEM 3.0. So really going to drive the cost up for solar and probably really halt solar adoption across California when this is pushed through, because case in point, these utilities like PG&E are tired of people generating their own free electricity from the sun, right? So it's eating into their margins. They want to control more behind the meter. And you can kind of see, so I uploaded this video. This is a really useful video that kind of goes over some of the economics, the key policies that the California Solar Plus Storage Association put together. So I'll share this link, but go ahead and click this and you can kind of see what they're describing here. But this graph really shows how in NEM 3.0, they're really trying to reach behind the meter. So you're paying for all these charges, whereas NEM 2.0 right now, you're only paying if you're using electricity when you're not producing electricity during kind of these morning hours. But NEM 3.0, they want to tax the sun essentially for all production for solar. So you're no longer guaranteed some of that economics. But going forward, if you get solar effectively before August, September, you're grandfathered into NEM 2.0 for 20 years, which you'll pay for your solar system 2 to 3 times over in that same period. The second one is rising interest rates and panel costs. So really, to keep this short and sweet, interest rates are going up. We're starting to see that creep into solar loans. And solar equipment costs are going up just due to global supply chain issues. So it's harder for solar companies to secure supply. Manufacturers have halted some of their production just because some of these tariffs that were in place previously, but have recently been removed. But we probably won't see the effect on pricing that soon. So just know what you're quoted now in terms of panel equipment costs are likely to go up in 30, 60 days from now. So just be aware that's another pressure on rising equipment costs here that's going to increase the price of your solar investment. Power's done a really good job of securing the supply. So generally you can expect, pretty consistent and competitive pricing on the equipment, but just know there is some urgency at play with these costs going up. The third, the dwindling tax credit. So this allows you to write off a portion of your solar system cost. So 26% if your system is installed in 2022. For example, a $30,000 solar system, you'd be able to write off $78,000 either off you can apply that towards your solar loan, which we did, and we'll go into some details, or you can write it off your personal tax return. So this would otherwise have gone Uncle Sam, but you can use this to just pay for more of your solar system, quite a big chunk, really. So for systems installed in 2023, this is going down to 22%, and by 2024, the tax credit is gone entirely, except for commercial, which will be around 10%. But for residential, you won't be able to write off any of your system or apply any of this toward the loan. So go in here, we can kind of see this is what my solar loan payment will look like. I'm trading essentially around our bills hovers around $100 a month, 120, sometimes 160. So we're able to trade that out for around a $90 a month solar loan. So you can see here where you're able to just you have 18 months, I believe, or give or take, to decide if you want to apply this toward your solar loan or toward your own personal tax return. So if I were to just want to write this off for my tax return, say in 2022, my solar loan payment will go up to $120 a month, or I can apply it toward the loan and my monthly payment will remain at $90 a month for the entire 25 years. So this isn't even considering the rising utility, rising electricity rates that have rose. I forget what the percentage is, but quite a bit since 2000. They go up every year, so it's a really nice way to hedge against that increase in costs, just by trading it out, and you have a consistent solar loan. And once the system's paid off, it's free electricity on your roof. So really compelling. So just kind of looking at the economics of my system, we have a pretty small, modest home here. Don't use a lot of electricity, have things like a hot tub, but not a whole lot of AC. But even then, it still made sense for us to trade out that $120 a month electric bill for a $90 a month solar bill. So we size it a bit bigger than what we use, just in case we have any future use for, we want to charge an electric vehicle, for example, if we want to, crank the hot tub, maybe, for one winter. But you can see here, we're able to write off, close to $8,000 off the system. That'll just, really helps lower the cost. And again, if you need to take advantage of this before it keeps going away. So here's another customer solar project in San Luis Obispo. They have a Tesla, they have a large family, so they were seeing around $500, $600, $700 a month electric bills. So they are able to size their system pretty close to what they're using. They really don't have many future energy usage that they see forthcoming, so they just size this directly to what they're using, and they're able to trade that $600 a month bill to $300 a month. So really compelling. They're going to see massive savings just by taking action this year. So why power? Really, they have the best pricing. They have lower overhead. They use all local installation teams that are vetted, licensed electricians. This means better pricing for your system without the larger overhead or commission checks, large commission checks from some of these sales teams. They're really able to secure the best panels and equipment. Just looking at recommend the REC Alphas if those are still available by the time you watch this, and the Solar Edge inverters. And really, of course, the last one would be the better warranty. So I vetted a lot of different solar companies myself before I even joined Power, just looking at solar systems, and really came to find that Power presented really compelling warranties and pricing. That's why we're going with them ourselves. So if you're interested in calculating your savings with solar, go ahead and please reach out. I'd love to get you a proposal, get you a competitive bid. If you've had other proposals, we can kind of look at that and try to beat the pricing. But the idea is just to look at the economics of it and see if it makes sense for your home. But for most Californians, it does, because electricity is so expensive, and with these kind of new costs impending, it's really imperative you take action. So appreciate your time. Please reach out with any questions, and if you'd like to get a solar proposal. Thanks.